Hi YouTubers, welcome back to the channel. So today it's engine mount time for the ML. Let me show you what we've got. We have two Febby engine mounts. They're both the same, left and right. These are front engine mounts, obviously because that's where the engine is at the front. And we're going to go through the process of getting this car set up for us to be able to start work on it. It's going to involve us having to first of all remove the passenger side wheel, because we need to remove the wheel liner to get access to one of the brackets, but the driver's side should be a bit easier for us. So let's get started. Okay, so we've got the car jacked up, and on this side the wheel off and the wheel cover, because we need to access this little shield there and get that removed first. So the car's up on axle stands. On this side we've removed, you can see it there, the nut on the shield. So I'm going to go back to the other side with that shield, remove the shield and undo that bolt first. Right, so let's get this shield out of the way. So with that removed, you can now fill the bolt. I'm going to show you. You can feel the bolt here that needs removing, and then we're going to jack the engine up a bit, but that may not be enough. We may have to actually remove the bracket that fits to the actual car. So yeah, let's see how we go. Okay, there's the plate out. That's the plate out. And then there's the bolt. There's the bolt. Okay, so if you look carefully, just up there is the two bolts we need to release as well now, because that is our the bottom part of the mount. So before we jack the engine up, which we'll do over there, we need to undo these both sides. So I'll get on with that now. Jacked the engine up just enough that will allow us to get this bracket off now. You see this bracket here? We need to undo that. That will then let us take out the engine mount. So let's get on with that. That's the passenger side all in and done. All the bolts are back in. We're leaving loose the mount itself for the time being, because obviously we've got the other side to do. So this apparently is the harder side, and we'll see. So now we're going to go to the passenger side oh sorry, the driver's side. There is the mount and the bit that goes onto the engine. I'm wondering if it's actually worth me removing the wheel liner here to give me a bit more visibility. So I think I might do that, remove the wheel liner. So here we have a nice clear access, and as you can see, so those bolts, those 4 bolts are what we've got to undo. Remove the engine mount and the bracket, and then replace. So let's get on with that. As you can probably tell, that got quite fiddly trying to line up the bolt holes when we're putting it back, and also you want to make sure you don't pinch these wires, because this is obviously your alternator, and you don't want to pinch those. But that's back in now, so I think we're going to lower the engine now, and then we should be able to start putting it all back together again. Okay, so we're going to put the covers back on now, and on this side we can get the wheel liner back on. Then we'll dress back up the other side, and then it's a matter of tightening up the bolts underneath. Okay, so we've got her back on the ground, wheels on both sides. Must admit, with the new engine mounts, the engine seems to be sitting a bit higher now, but we've still got to do the bolts underneath. So we're going to get her up on ramps, and I'll crawl under and then tighten up the bolts underneath. Hey, you join me underneath the car where we have the last few bolts now. There's 4 bolts either side. You can see them in there. This is just to hold down the engine mounts. So I'm going to go ahead and screw these up, and that'll be job done. Okay, pleased to say finally got these bolts in. You can see that one up there is done. And, if I can just wobble over, you can see those ones are done. There is 2. This side's a bit harder for me to show you. Out of the way. There you go, there's one. And the other one I think you saw earlier. That one was an absolute pain to get in, but they're done. Hooray, let's get out from underneath the car. Okay, we're back in the ML, and engine running, and what's really good is the shaking is completely stopped. Before you would sort of shake about, so I guess the engine mounts clearly did need doing, but yeah, shaking is gone. I'd say that's job done.